Hello everyone, welcome to Tech with Cougar. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a virtual machine in VirtualBox and also how to install Linux operating system in VirtualBox. In the previous video, we saw how to download and install VirtualBox. If you guys don't know what is VirtualBox, VirtualBox is basically a virtualization product or software that allows us to install multiple operating systems inside our host operating system. For example, I have a Windows operating system installed in my machine. So using VirtualBox, I can create virtual machines and install different operating system in that. If you guys don't know how to download VirtualBox, I have a video. So you guys, I really recommend you guys watch that video first. I'm going to provide the link down in the description below, or you guys can click on this I button in this top right corner of this video. So to create a virtual machine, open up your VirtualBox. So virtual machine, think of virtual machine as a virtual computer in which we are going to install an operating system. So to create a virtual machine, click on this new button, or you can go to machine and click new. Here it's going to ask our name for our virtual machine, so I'm going to give it Ubuntu since I'm going to install Ubuntu operating system. So when I write Ubuntu here, VirtualBox is smart enough to detect the type of operating system which I will be installing, and also the version. So and here this is the folder or the location where my virtual machine will be stored. If you guys want to change the location, you can click here and select the other and browse another location within your host operating system or host machine. Then the second thing it's going to ask us is the ISO image file. In order to install an operating system, first we have to download the ISO file or image file of that operating system, whether it is Windows, Mac operating system, or Linux. I have already download and installed the ISO file of Ubuntu operating system. To download the ISO file, go to Google and write Ubuntu. In the Ubuntu website, ubuntu.com, click here. Under the downloads, we are going to download Ubuntu LTS version. So as of now, we have version 22.04 LTS. So select this LTS version because it has long-term support. LTS stands for long-term support. If you guys click here, it's going to download the ISO file of the operating system. We can see that it is a 3.6 GB file. I have already downloaded this, so I'm going to cancel my download and use the file which I have already downloaded. Let's go to VirtualBox. Or if you guys don't have the ISO file handy, you can create your virtual machine. Then later on we can select the ISO file. I'm gonna show you that way also. So I'm gonna click here on other to browse the ISO file. Under downloads, I have Ubuntu 22.04.1 desktop AMD 64. So this is the image file I have downloaded for Ubuntu operating system. I'm gonna select that and click next. So I have already created an Ubuntu virtual machine. Let me name it Ubuntu 2. So click next. Here it's going to ask us the username and password. So I'm gonna give my username as Cougar, and the password I'm gonna give it a simple password. Then click on next. Here it's going to ask to allocate hardware for our virtual machine. So the amount of memory you're going to allocate to this virtual machine. So by default, VirtualBox will allocate 4 MBs. Since I have around 65 GBs of RAM, so I'm going to allocate like 16 GBs to my VirtualBox. So 8 GB, so 8000 MB, so that should be good enough for my virtual machine. Then the amount of CPUs or processors you're going to allocate to your virtual machine. By default, VirtualBox allocate 1 CPU. I have 24 CPUs, so I'm gonna allocate like 4 CPUs for my VirtualBox. That should be enough. So depending on your host machines hardware, you can select the amount of CPU and memory for the VirtualBox. So I'm going to click next. Then here we are going to allocate the virtual hard disk for our virtual machine. So by default it's allocates 25 GBs. That should be enough. I'm gonna increase it to 50 GBs. Then click next and finish. So our virtual machine Ubuntu 2 has been created to install the operating system. We're waiting for powering up the virtual machine, so it's gonna take a little while. Then we can click on the start. If you guys don't if it doesn't pop up automatically, you guys can click on the start or show icon over there. Here we can use our arrow buttons and keyboard to navigate between these options. We are going to click on try or install Ubuntu and press enter. So here our installation is done. It takes a little while. Everything was straightforward, nothing fancy. That's why I paused the video. So here it asks us to log into our user account. So I'm going to enter my password to Cougar account for the first time. So this is our Linux operating system inside our VirtualBox. So I'm going to escape all these. Next, done. So we have our Ubuntu operating system installed inside our VirtualBox, but there's a problem. When we want to maximize the VirtualBox window, we can see that the Ubuntu window, display window, does not resize with the VirtualBox window. To resolve this issue, we gotta install the VirtualBox guest edition. For that, we gotta go over here. Let me go over here in devices and click on that. But before that, we gotta run 2 commands to update our apt in inside the Linux. So I have already written the commands here. You guys can see. First, we gotta run the sudo apt update command. Let me open a terminal. Go here and write terminal here to open a terminal, or you guys can right click here and say open in terminal. So first of all, we are going to run sudo apt update, enter the password. Okay, if you guys see this error message, Cougar is not in the sudo file, so means that we don't have the root privilege to run the sudo command. So for right now, I'm going to change user, switch user su to root, enter my password to run this command. As you guys can see right now, I'm in the root user that has full permission. So to run that command, I'm going to write sudo apt update. Then the next command we'll be running is sudo apt install build essential dkms linux headers and uname. Okay, so this file is updated. Let's run the other one, sudo apt install build dash essential dkms linux dash headers dash dollar sign parenthesis uname space -r, enter, and press Y for yes. I'm going to provide these commands in the description of this video. You guys can just simply copy and paste it in your terminal and run these two commands. So once it is done, we're going to go to devices and click on insert guest addition CD image. So it's going to mount the CD here. The CD is mounted here. Double click on this to open this CD or image file. So here we can see run as root.sh. we are going to run this file to install the guest edition. Right click on this folder to open the terminal in this location. As you guys can see, our terminal is inside the opened inside the media Cougar VirtualBox, this guy. So if I list the content here, we can see that we have r2 run.sh file. We are going to run this file. For that, write period slash r2 run.sh and press enter. It's going to our password. Enter your password. Then it's going to install the guest additions installer for VirtualBox. Then if we maximize our window, the Ubuntu operating system window will also get resized with the VirtualBox window. So this is done. It says press return to close this window. I'm going to press enter. Let me close the terminal. If I maximize my VirtualBox window, we can see that our Linux window also gets maximized. Close terminal. So this was a quick video on how to install Ubuntu operating system inside VirtualBox. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to Tech with Cougar for future tech videos. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.